Good morning. All right, let's take a look at some pre-market runners. To get started, PRSO. Huge move from 7 a.m. Let's see what the news was. Offers to acquire somebody in cash and stock deal. So they're going to do an acquisition. So it looks like PRSO is being acquired by MOBX. So let's take a look at MOBX. Let me see. Let me pull this one up here. PRSO. Oh, it's semiconductor. So this is a semiconductor stock. And MOBX. So yeah, MOBX is acquiring PRSO. Sweeten's offer. So it's just an offer maybe, not an actual... The deal isn't done yet here. So this is a maybe deal. Providing immediate value and closing a long-term growth potential through stronger combined company. Okay. MOBX. Okay, so sort of small cap. MOBX is still small cap. Obviously, it's trading at $1. Semiconductor stock. Interesting, at least it's not a biotech. A PRSO is the one that's running on this. Again, the deal isn't done, so it's just an offer. Still interesting. So definitely want to keep a watch on PRSO. V. This one sounds familiar. So this one had a reverse split pump back here in May. Not really doing much since then. So the only level it has, the main level here is it's pushed up to that level. Now maybe it could go to the next level. It's not really up too much yet. Let's see what the news is on it. No news? All right, no news. So again, we just want a classic morning short setup. We'll see if it happens. Hour already gapping. This looks like a potential fade from pre-market. It wasn't up too much though, only 96% from the close. Kind of a light runner yesterday. Moved a little bit. Wouldn't be surprised if this just fades. But I wouldn't want it to come over VWAP. It's kind of threatening to do that. We had a couple of these yesterday. BSLK and what was the other one? BRIA was a really nice one. Basically the same setup as BRIA from yesterday, except not quite as good. Very similar though. Definitely gonna watch that hour one. Let's see what the news was here. Why are we talking about DocuSign in this? What does this have to do with hour? So no news. Maybe earnings news from yesterday. Company reported year-over-year increase in EPS. So that would be why. So that was yesterday. Maybe explains the move. Again, though, best case scenario is a fake out. We want a pre-market high fake out. But this one might not do it. They're either going to fade really nicely or they're going to do the fake out. Just like Bria from yesterday. Super, super clean fade. Never came back over VWAP. Didn't even try to. ISPC. Oh, Solana-based digital asset strategy. Nice. So we got another crypto pump stock. MicroStrategy wannabe. It's at $1. Recently with these ones that have pushed above $1, they're kind of holding $1. For whatever reason, they have not been fading really well. So I don't know why, but they've just been holding on to $1 forever, pretty much all day. And then maybe fading the following day. It's kind of annoying. Usually I think these should just come on down, especially after this push up to $1.40. Should be done. But they've been a little more difficult lately. For whatever reason, they're just hanging on to this $1 level all day. We'll see if this one does it or not. I like it better if it can spike after the open. Let's see. Let me put this one on. Yeah, we'll get rid of this one. ISPC. All right. SCAG. Wow, what a 1 minute candle right there. $200% 1 minute candle. Pretty incredible. That's got to be Algos just pumping this thing up, getting squeezed. And it looks like it's fading. So yeah, pre-market bounce short, or VWAP bounce short maybe on this one would be pretty good. Potentially. SCAG. Let me check the real float. Okay, the real float is 0.1 million. So we have 100,000 float. So I call this one a sleeper because it looks like it's a higher float. Yeah, TOS has the shares outstanding right here showing 72 million, but the float is 100,000, so it's really, really sketchy. Float data is just notoriously unreliable. No platforms really have it easily. Be nice if TOS just had that column for float, but they don't have that. Sort of have to go through the filings and figure out what the float is, but there's some websites that do a pretty good job of it. So we have warrants at 1150. 21 million of them. SPAC warrants. Not registered. Well, it's interesting. Probably won't touch this one, but I will keep it on watch. And the low float ones they're really double-edged sword because they can be the best faders, but they're also the best squeezers. Let's see, what was that one from yesterday? One I shorted from yesterday was ZNB. So ZNB, here's a perfect example of this. This one was, I think it was 500,000 float. So super low float. But man, this faded the best. Best fader all day. It looks like they had an offering back here right around 3 o'clock. So pretty incredible move. All day fade for 50% or so. So the low floaters are a really double-edged sword because you don't get fades like this. And not that this is a fade, this is maybe just an offering, but that is what happens sometimes. All right, that's pretty much it for these small caps. INHD, this is a super interesting one. This one's been holding up. It had a really crazy day one move. We traded it on day 3, did the long setup, did really good on that one. And since then, it's been holding sideways until yesterday. Yesterday had a massive move higher, all the way up to $10. So we are at the magical $10 level. So best case scenario for me on this one today, we fake out yesterday's high, take the short right around 10 o'clock. We'll see if it actually sets up. Probably won't, but that would be the trade for me. So big watch on that one. Big watch on SOGP for a first red day. Look at this daily chart. Absolutely insane. Again, we took the long on the second right here. This was a great long setup. And then it kept going. So you can see the difference. INHD didn't keep going until later. It went sideways for about a week, and then it had a big green day yesterday. And then SOGP has had consecutive green days. So same day 3 move on both of them, but then SOGP kept going. INHD didn't keep going. And now SOGP kind of setting up for that first red day setup. So I haven't touched this one since the second on that long trade. But man, we're getting a pretty nice looking trend line. It's going to be a classic trend break short on a consecutive green day. Pump and dump stock. You can really see that liquidity trap. Not my favorite for the first red day move. Best case scenario for these are usually going to be, you want increasing volume days. So you want every day to be pushing more and more and more volume. And this is kind of doing the opposite. So this is more of a liquidity trap because you've got all these players on day 1 where I had 120 million shares traded. Probably, you can imagine, loading in the short positions, going for that swing short to fade this back down to nothing. And day 2, the volume just dried up entirely. Day 3, still low volume, and it's pushing the highs from the day 1 move. So now you get these short sellers stopping out of their positions. And as they do that, they just push the stock higher because the volume's so light and it's just going up on no volume. So now you literally just have short sellers pushing this higher from this day 1 move. And this will collapse eventually. Once all the shorts are squeezed from day 1. And they're probably reloading on these following days. Maybe some of them are. Maybe got some new ones entering. No one expected this to go to 35 bucks from $3. Pretty incredible move. But yeah, pretty clear trend break coming. Should be a nice big win whenever that trend breaks. Again, we prefer the fake out. I want a fake out to happen. It doesn't have to happen, but looking for the fake out or trend break. And really, I wanted this to gap up. I wanted the gap up into the 40s, but we didn't get the gap up. Keep expecting this to gap, but it just hasn't gapped yet. And that's usually another sign of the top. So we just didn't get the gap. But it's going to be no trade unless the trend breaks or there's a very clear fake out. because it's still holding trend. It could trend all day today still. And then maybe we get the gap over the weekend. And then we have the setup for Monday. So we'll keep a close watch on that. Lulu got crushed. I had to cut that trade for the swing. Luckily I did because it came down more. And it's probably just going to fade a bit. But man, it just cannot. Yeah, this was a lemon. It turned out to just be a lemon. Look at the fake out, man. That is crazy how it broke trend and then just faked out all the longs and then slammed right back down on the earnings, which it's done before. You know, it's not surprising at all. But sometimes it goes up like that too. So, yeah, that's the risk. Bigger dip now. Better buying opportunity, question mark. If you liked it at 200, you're going to love it at 160. Morning. What is the size of your portfolio? First time watcher. Pretty small. I'm mostly just shorting pump and dumps. I'm more of a small cap specialist, but I'm learning the big caps, doing some swing trades also. So, yeah, Lulu absolutely smashed. We have Intel long. Intel is really interesting. We've got the government buying it from $20. SoftBank is in a couple billion. And there's a pretty clear flag right here. Never follow anybody's trades, by the way. Nobody knows what they're doing. It's a safe assumption. But all right. A lot of randomness too going on. But man, Intel is pretty primed for a move right now. I would say it's been ping-ponging in this range for a couple of years, maybe a year and a half. And the government's getting involved. SoftBank is involved for $2 billion. And there's a pretty clear looking flag right here. So I did take some Intel long, right around 24 bucks. Just buying this flag. Yeah, this is the same setup as Neo from very recently. Pull up Neo. Here is the example that maybe the template that Intel will follow. But yeah, Neo, clean flag right here. Super, super clean flag. Broke out of the flag. After a little fake out the bottom. Faked out the bottom a little bit and then it came up. So that's what can happen with Intel. Intel's probably better than Neo. I think Neo is sort of like a Chinese Rivian. Chinese Rivian stock. Yep. So let's see what we get here at the open. Obviously PRSO. Big watch on that one. V. Hour. SOGP, INHD, there's just several to watch. In small cap. I might try a little day trade on Tesla. We'll see what happens. I have a new strategy I'm testing out. Tesla gapped up, so typically they like to fill the gap. So pretty big gap there on Tesla. I wonder if that gap's going to get filled. Yeah, Hour is free to borrow, which is a little bit concerning. Yeah, I'm mainly just trying to scale up some short selling strategies, which I don't really want to promote short selling. It's super, super dangerous and difficult. But that's mainly what I do. So if I can keep some people from blowing up, then I'll be happy with that. We had some killer trades yesterday. Best day of the week for me. Oh, coin is slamming pretty hard. Yeah, let me show you. I can show you some trades from yesterday. Right over here. So we hit Bria. Pump and dump short. Hit it in pre-market. Add some after the open. Scale it out. Really nice trade. BSLK, another one. And then, what was this one? I can't see the name. This one was that microfloat stock that ended up dropping 50% by the end of the day. So, nice entry after the open right there. Scale it out. Pretty clean. Pretty clean. Probably should be shorting hour right now. But usually like to wait for a fake out. Wait for the fake out or be faked out is usually the rule. No reason to get squeezed. PRSO maybe is a miss. See, I love this move. Already shortable again. This is bizarre. So we go from, we had a day this week where all the borrows were super expensive, like crazy expensive. Into yesterday they were cheap, and then today all of them are free so far. Who is running the show, man? Which is always sketchy to me when these are free to borrow, because that means it's going to be overcrowded because everybody can borrow it. Everybody's going to be slamming it. And maybe more likely to get squeezed. I kind of like this short. See how it just drops so fast right here? So it's what that does is it doesn't give the shorts a chance to get in where they want to get in. So now they have to get in lower, and then now if it doesn't go down, it's more likely to squeeze because all the shorts are underwater. So, and it depends where they're risking, but a lot of times that's kind of how it plays out. So best case scenario for me is for the squeeze over 170. And then maybe some kind of top out action. Of course, it could just fade back easily. But if I enter here, I have to risk 170. So I kind of want 170 to get squeezed. Hour's probably just going to be a clean fade. It could be a clean fade day too, which we haven't had an easy fade day until yesterday. It was really nice. Might be worth a stab here. PAPL, a new one. Yeah, nice. Really, really nice. Skag. See, this one ran 200% in pre-market on 1 minute candle. This is the trappy area, so I mean, this could fade easily, or it could squeeze back up. I just prefer the squeeze to happen. Either wait for the squeeze or you get squeezed. But I do end up missing the easier faders because of that too. And I'm kind of playing around making some slop content on YouTube because that's what gets views. And I don't know what I'm going to do with that, with those videos yet. Just kind of playing around with some videos. This kind of stuff. Talking about stocks and these trades on the live stream. So we'll talk about that live. Really hoping this squeezes. Might just have to slam it here. I will be doing some trade updates, that kind of thing. I might start doing that once a week, talk about trades for the week, stuff like that. Maybe make some videos like that. Progress updates. But I don't know, trade review stuff just doesn't get views. So it's almost pointless to do that. right, PRSO. It looks like it's just going to be an easy fade. Really sketchy when things are free to borrow, though. The spidey senses are tingling. Oh man, Skag is just beast mode right now. Jeez. Look at that. What a beautiful, beautiful move. Yep. All right. No rush to get into anything. Kind of seems like PRSO is just going to fade back pretty easily. There was a bit of a fake out right there, so I guess that one could be good enough, but it's just not the best. We do have about a 70% win rate on the strat, so really try not to break the rules. Tesla just going up. No gap fill yet. I can't believe Unity. Unity is just absolutely going nuts. Unity. Huge breakout on Unity. Absolutely wild. And this just kind of shows you these stocks that have been undervalued for so long are going to run. They are going to run eventually. Every stock looks like this pretty much. Just huge pullback off the highs into basing for 2 years. And now they're going to build back up and start pushing again because they found their base and this AI bubble is going to pop. And I think that that's going to cause all the money from these AI stocks to run into these undervalued names. That's the theory. That's the theory. SOGP just kind of disappointing at the moment. What a bizarre ticker. It's illiquid. It's at the highs. And it's just threatening to squeeze shorts even more. So not touching that one for sure today. Unless it can do a trend break, a clean trend break. Doesn't look like it's going to happen though. Would rather see it gap up over the weekend and then short on Monday. Okay, PRSO adjust, weakening. Doesn't fit my setup exactly, so I guess no trade so far. No trade so far. Don't have to trade every day. Kind of like this gag one, but man, the float is so low on it. This could get crazy. Yeah, that's kind of scary. All right, PRSO maybe gonna try to bounce back. Still free to borrow. Still likely to squeeze. All right, it's trying to hold here. Kind of a bizarre day right now so far. INHD, exactly why I didn't short this yet. Same reason I haven't shorted PRSO. Because look at this thing, reclaiming back up. Maybe actually along here. Illiquid again. I mean, it's decent liquidity actually. But man, compared to yesterday, it's nothing. Skag. Sort of a really nice looking short opportunity here. Unfortunately, it's 100,000 float. So kind of scary. There it goes. Nothing hitting my strats yet. Wow, UNH is looking great. Etsy's looking good for the swings. I've been building some Etsy. I have Intel, Pfizer, and UNH on the swing trades. Cut Lulu yesterday. Super sad. Lulu is no American Eagle. Etsy looking good now. I mean, there's a nice little trend break on Etsy. Pretty wild pullback on it. Right into the moving averages. Yeah, this was just a tough one to pull the trigger on. UNH at 315 now. Pretty incredible. Skag is halted down. 100,000 float. Pretty nuts. SOGP pulling back a little bit. Oh, uh-oh. Ah, shoot. TOS just turned off. That sucks. That's why I always save my loadouts. Layout. This thing will just randomly crash on me. Bringing it back up. Yeah, see, SOGP is just, the liquidity is so bad. 500,000 shares traded on the day. Pathetic volume. Not really tradable. Not really worth it. I see hour coming back up. That's nice. All right, PRSO just fading. That one was tradable. Not my favorite. Here we go. Hour squeezing now. Love to see that. Papel halted down. Wow. Yeah, we might see some fades today. We had nice fades yesterday. It hasn't been easy. There has been a lot of runners lately, which is nice. Hour is now the leading gainer on the day. Now hour's getting into the territory I like for a short, but it's still got to set up. Oh, Nvidia's getting hammered. Scotty scalped the range on SOGP. Nice. That one's not, I don't know. It's not doing what I want. Nice one on AMD. So that's, I guess that was like a long trigger and then a flip. And then re-hit the short into the bear flag. Yeah, I think PRSO is just an easy fade, so far. Got the long and then flipped, yep. It's nice to be nimble. All right, hour is in a squeeze now. We have finally done a really nice looking pre-market fake out. So fake out the pre-market high. Will it continue? It's still looking really strong. But this is what I'm talking about. If you wait for the squeeze to try, then you don't get squeezed. Small cap shenanigans. So now the question is this the top? Or is it going to go another leg up? I am looking for a big cap to try my new strategy on. Holy cow, hood. Jeez. What happened? The bubble is over. Jobs, I guess they're blaming jobs on this drop here. Wow. It's pretty significant. Of course, coin MSTR as well, following hood. Now, I guess we'll see if Tesla wants to fill the gap or not. I'll go for a try on a short. Roku range. Scotty's a beast. Hour going higher. Nice. Love to see it, Scotty. This is great. Switterman rubbing off. Just got to sell high and buy low. All right, hour is in a really nice looking squeeze. This is why the shorting has been kind of tough. Got to be very selective because there's been a lot of these lately. All right, so I did short some Tesla, so we'll see what we get. Testing the pre-market high level right now on Tesla. We'll see if it holds there or not. It is pretty likely to hold there, but I don't know. There is still a massive gap to fill. Doesn't have to fill it. But we are seeing some other stocks cliff dive on this jobs news. The jobs report. All this stuff really seems like, I don't know. I've got conspiracy theories about the market. All right, Tesla's red now, fighting to hold green. PRSO is not fading yet. So maybe I'm okay avoiding that one. Still probably fades, but yeah, can't get them all. All right, Tesla. Try to trail this down. It is below the pre-market high now, pretty convincingly. So this is my big cap strategy here for the day trade. We'll see how we do. We have several red 5-minute candles. I'll probably just hold for the first 5-minute green candle. And this is basically what I do with the small caps too. So kind of get these fake out moves. Wow, UNH giving back its morning spike. No surprise. Apple pulling back. Everything's pulling back pretty hard right now. So I'm guessing the management style on these kind of trades, Scotty. So yeah, I guess you put your order out and then it gets triggered, and that's kind of like your alert. And then take a look at it. If it continues, you have to flip. You can try a flip one time maybe, and then that's probably it. It'll either work on the entry or maybe try a flip once and then be done with it after that. Because I love the, just being nimble in it and not being, stuck on one side of the trade. Yeah, flip once. Yeah, like that. There's no bias. It's just the stock kind of tells you what to do. All right, hour pushed up a little bit more. Is the squeeze over? See, what's been happening too with these, we've been getting big moves, and then sometimes, usually they top out around 10 or before 10, but then occasionally, maybe once a week, they'll run into 1030 and then they'll top out. So they end up squeezing out the people that get in around 10. So it's like one more squeeze has to happen and then it comes down. If it does reverse. So usually they do reverse by around 1030. Our has a resistance level right around 490. Is it going to test that? I am flattening my Tesla for a gain. We got a green 5-minute candle, so I'm just done with the day trade. Fantasy orders are alerts. 0.1, 0.25 R. I'm fishing. Either add if the trade works or flip. Okay, I gotcha. That makes sense. So INHD, this is a tempting short. I used to short these, but I avoid now because I want this to be over yesterday's high. So if it can't do that, it's just not a short for me. And that's why something like SOGP, same exact thing happened over here on the 3rd. It's too close to previous day's high. It did eventually push over it and failed, but then it held all day. It trapped shorts all day long, squeezed them out in a day, but at least it tried to come down, and I wouldn't have stayed in that long anyways. And then even yesterday, it didn't really fake out the previous day's levels. It just it did double top, but I just need that extension. I need the extension. If it's not extended, there's nothing I can do with it. Hour is extended. This is more like it. Still not convinced yet, but it is getting there. It's kind of one of those 1030 squeezers. One more push would do it. One more push. It's just so close to this resistance level, it wants to tap it. It just wants to get up there and tap it. Another one. Oh, nice. Look at that hour pushing back up. It's just wants to go tap that level so bad. Oh, that's going to do it, I think. Take my money. If I'm wrong, I mean, this has got to be the place to try. I love the fake out wick. Double top fake out. That is a classic top out pattern. Doesn't always work, but when it works, it works. This will be a decent place to take a stand though on the trade. So 407 average. Free to borrow. Probably should have cracked already, and it's not going to crack. Ooh. That's wild. Yep. So I would have doubled up lower, but it didn't come down. So I'll take a small cut on that. Look at that though. Oh my gosh. It's going right up into that level. All right, run up right into that level. Now what? Now what? Wow, super clean trade on Amazon. From Dennis. Entering into the breakdown pullback. Covering at the pre-market low. Nice job. Love to see it. Hour might continue higher. Pretty crazy. So it reclaimed that moving average right here. We're testing that resistance level. We're seeing a 1030 squeeze. Kind of rare. DJT dumped. Oh. Probably give hour another try. Crazy how it did the perfect fake out, but then that reclaimed too. Free to borrow. This is the problem too with free to borrow is you get way more people involved. Easier to be overcrowded. All right, hour. Is it done or not? So it's tapping this major level. It's either going to top out here or it's going to pull back, maybe consolidate and then push through. Amazon's still going. Original target was 232. Wow. I ended up reshorting Tesla. Looks like it might try to go for the gap fill. Oh yeah, big push on an hour. The next level is 690. But I'm kind of hoping it reverses right here. Pretty strong though. Might give it one more try, but it's seeming like it's just not gonna turn around easy. So I'll just take a small loss on it and probably be done for the day. I do have my Tesla short still. Looking for the gap fill. Holding up into 11 o'clock now. Might give this one more try, but we'll see. I'd rather have it top out around 10:30 at the latest. Even PRSO is coming back up, threatening to squeeze. That could be a long. All right, some weakness on the hour now. Let's see what happens. Failing that key level. Typically, it needs to consolidate to really break through a level like that for a decent amount of time, and it hasn't done that. So there's a chance that this is the top, or it's going to start consolidating and build back up. We'll see. Really want to see that 50 moving average crack pretty quickly. We know this thing can move fast. All right, here we go. Hour. What are we doing? Breaking the 50 now. Like to see that. Everything's getting hammered right now, but it is 11 o'clock. So, we could see some reversals happening. Ooh. Scotty hit hour as well. I see it. I see you. Short and cut size re-added. Calling. Have a good weekend. Yes, sir. I took 2/5 off. 2/5 remaining, or 3/5 remaining. I want to fade it, but I always scale out, so hoping it comes back under VWAP at least. There is a chance that this thing holds the dip, grinds its way back up, and squeezes back towards $7. So we gotta be careful of that scenario. All right, I'm going to call it there. I'm going to let this trade play out. We'll see how we do. I'll put some updates in the Discord later. But have a good weekend, everybody, and we'll be back on Monday